Good evening, and welcome to Michigan Lawyers Weekly's 11th Annual Women in the Law Awards ceremony. We are delighted that you've joined us for tonight's virtual event. During our program, we'll honor 30 inspiring and accomplished leaders in our profession who serve as mentors to others, while also contributing significant time and effort to volunteerism and pro bono initiatives. We encourage all of you to celebrate and engage socially with your fellow attendees as we recognize these wonderful women. We're ready to begin and hope you enjoy the program from the comfort of your homes and offices. And now, please give a warm virtual welcome as we introduce your host, Charlene Boccaccio, Associate Publisher of Michigan Lawyers Weekly.
Good evening. I am Charlene Boccaccio, Associate Publisher of Michigan Lawyers Weekly, and I will be your host for this year's Women in the Law ceremony. This year's 30 honorees are leaders in their firms and communities, mentors, experts, and of course, outstanding lawyers. Tonight's interactive program will allow us to celebrate these impressive women as we come together virtually. Please join us on social media at #MILW events. Post your comments in the YouTube chat and cheer on your colleagues. But before we kick things off, I want to thank our sponsors for recognizing the importance of honoring the lawyers we are celebrating tonight. I'd like to offer a sincere thank you to our social media sponsor, University of Detroit Mercy School of Law, celebration sponsors, Garen Luco Miller, Warner Norcross and Judd LLP, Varnum LLP, Jaffe Riot Hewer and Weiss PC, Plunkett Cooney, Riley and Hurley PC, our table sponsors, Miller Campfield and Mantis Honigman. There are a number of special guests who will appear throughout the program tonight, so keep a lookout for them. And don't forget, at the conclusion of our program, we will announce the Woman of the Year who was selected by her peers. It is now my pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker. Janet Welsh is the Executive Director of the State Bar of Michigan. Janet joined the bar in December 2000 as a general counsel and is the first woman to head the more than 39,000 member statewide organization. In her role as Executive Director, she oversees the day-to-day operations of the State Bar, implements policies set by the Board of Commissioners and the Representative Assembly, and directs the efforts of the State Bar staff. Before coming to the State Bar, Janet served as Michigan Supreme Court counsel for 4 years. Please welcome Janet Welsh to the virtual podium.
I'm grateful to Michigan Lawyers Weekly for inviting me to make kickoff remarks for an event centered on 3 of my favorite things: Michigan, women, and the law. An important but uncomfortable question to ask at the outset, however, is this: does an event recognizing only women lawyers make sense at this point in history? My answer is yes, and this is why. First, women who distinguish themselves in law do so without centuries of tradition behind them. Even today, we carry with us into the already daunting challenges of the practice of law the additional weighty family and caregiving responsibilities that human culture everywhere has assigned to women since the dawn of time. Finally, despite legal protections in the law today, we often need to make our talents shine through clouds of negative assumptions about our capabilities and our commitment. Those conditions require us, I suggest, to develop what my grandson would call superpowers. And given these superpowers, is it really fair to men to force them to compete with us for honors? The passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whose brilliant lawyering engineered a path toward legal protection against gender discrimination, has focused the world's attention on the extraordinary feats women are capable of under adverse conditions. Most of the world, who care to know, have heard that Justice Ginsburg graduated at the top of her class from Columbia Law School in 1959, and that she received no law firm job offers. But she proved that with the right attitude, barriers can become launching pads. Did you know that Justice Ginsburg attributed her success in law school largely to her daughter Jane, who was 14 months old when Ginsburg started law school. "I went to class at 8:30 a.m., she said, came home at 4. That was children's hour. It was a total break in my day. And children's hour lasted until Jane went to sleep. Then I was happy to go back to the books. So I felt each part of my life made me rested from the other." As remarkable as that story is, it is far from unique. Just, for example, we are all now learning that the woman who is poised to take Justice Ginsburg's seat on the court gets up at 4 a.m. every day to exercise, then mothers 7 children, sits on the Seventh Circuit, and oh, by the way, continues to teach law. I'm happy to be able to say that Michigan can hold our own in stories of extraordinary women lawyers. To name just a few of my personal historical favorites, let me start with Cora Mae Brown, a Cass Tech grad, who upon graduating from Fisk in 1935, launched a lifetime career of fighting for justice by demonstrating against the lynching of a Black man falsely accused of rape. After working as a social worker and police officer in Detroit, Brown earned a law degree from Wayne State. Balancing a life as a federal practitioner and activist, in 1952, she became the first Black woman in the US to be elected to a state Senate seat. Another Wayne Law grad, Dorothy Comstock Riley, like RBG, got no job offers when she joined the bar in 1949, but went on to a distinguished judicial career. She was the first Hispanic woman to be elected to any state Supreme Court in the country, and she served with distinction as Chief Justice. She sat on the court with yet another Wayne Law grad, Patricia Boyle. Like Justice Ginsburg, Patty Boyle was a new mother who graduated first in her class. But as she pointedly observed, I was the only woman in my graduating class, and I was the last person to find a job. Members of the 2020 pandemic class of women in the law in Michigan, with your selection, you have become part of the rich history of incredible women lawyers in Michigan. Each year, I look forward to the announcement of the new class. Every class has included people with whom I've been privileged to work, and it is wonderful to see them recognized. But it is in many ways a greater pleasure and immensely reassuring to learn about the many remarkable women each year I don't know. Thank goodness for all of you. The enormous challenges facing the legal system in Michigan and the rule of law mean that we need all of your brilliance and dedication. Please mentor more lawyers like you. I am so sorry that I'm not with you in person to meet and congratulate each of you individually. The only silver lining I can think of is that none of us has had to worry about what shoes to wear to this ceremony. But Michigan Lawyers Weekly has put together an exceptional program. And now it's time for each of you to sit back, kick off your shoes if you're wearing them, and let us honor you. Warmest congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Janet. To announce this year's honorees, we have 5 very special presenters joining us, all of whom are former Michigan Lawyers Weekly honorees. Mary Chartier of Chartier and Neum Fu Kudza was recognized as a woman in the law in 2013 and as a leader in the law in 2018. Marla Linderman of Linderman Law was honored as an up-and-coming lawyer in 2007, a woman in the law in 2012, and a member of the 2018 class of leaders in the law. Tanya Lundberg is Assistant Dean for Career Services and Outreach at the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. She was recognized as a woman in the law in 2017. Kristen Persley is the managing shareholder of the DuBrusson Law Firm and was a member of the 2013 class of Women in the Law. Martha Denning-Moore teaches professional responsibility and civil procedure at Western Michigan University Cooley Law School. In 2018, she was recognized as a woman in the law. And now I'm going to turn the virtual podium over to our first presenter, Mary Chartier.
Bodman Celeste Arduino focuses her practice on the representation of nonprofit and tax-exempt organizations. Her clients range from multi-billion-dollar global foundations to startup companies. Celeste is co-chair of her firm's New Exempt Organizations and Impact Investing Practice Group and of the Pro Bono Committee. Outside of work, she serves as co-chair of the State Bar of Michigan's Business Law Section's Nonprofit Corporations Committee and acts as an advisor to Vista Maria, an agency that serves the needs of at-risk youth. Congratulations to Celeste Arduino. Mary Bowen is the Assistant City Attorney for the City of Lansing. She is past president of the Davis-Dunnings Bar Association and sits on the Ingham County Bar Association's Board of Directors. A volunteer with the Capital Area United Way, she participates as a community reader with schools in the Lansing area, mentors law students, and frequently presents at conferences. What's one thing about her most people don't know? She is passionate about nonfiction writing, including essays, blogs, and memoirs. Congratulations to Mary Bowen. Elena Clark is an assistant prosecuting attorney in the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office, where she works to obtain justice for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. A member of the League of Women Voters, Elena recently completed her tenure as president of the Women Lawyers Association of Michigan. She says she realized in high school she wanted to be a prosecutor because the job of a prosecutor is to make sure all people are treated fairly, the rights of defendants are honored, and the voices of victims and survivors are heard. Congratulations to Elena Clark. Phyllis Crocker is the dean at University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. During her tenure, she has led an expansion of curriculum as well as pro bono and clinical experiences for law students, while improving diversity among students, faculty, and staff. A trustee of the Detroit Metropolitan Bar Association Foundation, she served on the State Bar of Michigan's 21st Century Practice Task Force. Why did she choose a legal career? Seeing the power and limitations of the law in affecting social change convinced me I wanted to go to law school. Congratulations to Phyllis Crocker. Honigman's Laura Davis counsels clients in private equity transactions and general corporate matters, leading acquisitions, divestitures, and other corporate transactions. She mentors associates, leads the firm's flexible staffing program, and serves on the board of directors for both the Central Detroit Christian Community Development Corporation and the Detroit Prosperity Center. Why did she decide to pursue a legal career? Much of my childhood was spent in a small town. It encouraged me to want to learn more about the world. Congratulations to Laura Davis. Maria Fracassa Dwyer is the first female managing member in Clark Hill's 125-year history. She serves as co-chair of Clark Hill Bold Detroit and concentrates her practice on employment defense litigation and counseling. Maria sits on the boards of the United Way for Southeastern Michigan, the Dearborn Public Schools Education Foundation, the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce, and Women Celebrating Life Downriver, among others. What's something about her that most people may not know? I kickbox regularly and have 3 bags set up at my house thanks to COVID. Congratulations to Maria Dwyer.
Thank you, Mary. As part of this year's Women in the Law celebration, Michigan Lawyers Weekly digital editor Kelly Kaplan spoke with several women who have served as state bar presidents. To introduce our first special guest, please welcome Kelly to the virtual program.
Thank you, Shar. Joining me now is Nancy DIEHL. Nancy was the 70th president of the State Bar of Michigan and was the first prosecutor elected to the role. She was the bar's 3rd woman president, 8 years after Judge Victoria Roberts. Thanks for joining me, Nancy.
Thank you so much for having me today.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about your career. But what I'm really interested to know is, what is the best piece of professional advice that you ever received?
That was from my father. He told me to join the Detroit Bar Association. And it would be a wonderful way to meet other lawyers and that they had resources that would help me. Now, I don't think my father knew about the Women Lawyers Association, but I did join the Detroit Bar, but I also joined Women Lawyers, and both were wonderful. But I think at the time, Women Lawyers, that was even better in terms of helping me to proceed and to do a better job and to meet with other people. And my advice now to young lawyers and law students, join the Detroit Bar or your local bar, join an affinity bar, of course, join women lawyers. It'll make a huge difference. You're going to meet lawyers outside your area of practice, and you will be a better person and a better lawyer for it.
Wonderful. That's great advice. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.
Now, please welcome our next presenter, Marla Linderman of Linderman Law.
Warner Norcross and Judge Amanda Fielder co-chairs the firm's employment litigation group and defends employers against claims of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, and wrongful discharge. A member of the firm's management committee, professional services committee, and COVID response team. She also serves as board chair for Solutions to End Exploitation and sits on the board of the Children's Advocacy Center. What's something most people don't know about her? Until I graduated from high school, I participated in clogging competitions. If you catch me in the right mood, I can still perform some of my old routines. Congratulations to Amanda Fielder.
Hi, I'm Doug Dozman. I'm the managing partner here at Warner Norcross and Judd, and we're here today to congratulate Amanda Fielder on her Michigan Lawyers Weekly Women in the Law Award. Amanda, this is a well-deserved award, and we couldn't be more proud. I remember, it doesn't seem that long ago, that you showed up here as a first-year associate full of enthusiasm and eagerness for the job. And 14 years later, that eagerness and enthusiasm is still there. But along the way, you've become a fine attorney with a growing reputation in your field of labor litigation. And you've also become a leader in our firm, both as a mentor to younger attorneys. You headed up our effort to design our new offices here in Grand Rapids, and you're one of the youngest members of our management committee. You've also given back. You've served as on boards of nonprofits that deal with women and children's health and nutrition. You check all the boxes. So Amanda, again, thank you for your service and your leadership, and congratulations on this well-deserved award. And congratulations also to all the other winners.
Plunkett Cooney's Lisa Hall focuses her practice on banking, liquor licensing, and litigation involving municipal liability, real estate, and insurance. She's also a member of the firm's D&I, shareholder evaluation, technology, and strategic planning committees. She's president of the West Michigan chapter of the Risk Management Association and is active in the State Bar of Michigan, Federal Bar Association, and the Grand Rapids Bar Association. What sparked her interest in the law? Her attendance at Girls State, an interactive government simulation program where participants learned about American government and developed leadership skills. Congratulations to Lisa Hall.
Hi, I'm Pete Kronk from Plunkett & Cooney. I'm co-practice group leader for the Banking and Finance Group, and it's my pleasure to say a few things about Lisa Hall, who I know very well. First and foremost, Lisa is a great attorney and an even better person. Her clients trust her with the toughest and most sensitive cases. Lisa can do anything, and she can do it well. You want somebody to draft some ironclad loan documents? Lisa can do that. You want somebody to go to court on an important motion that will make or break a client? Lisa can do that. You want someone to file a complaint on a new case that just came in today? Lisa's got it. You want someone to draft a great brief on a difficult legal issue? She can do that. You want someone to stand up to one of the toughest negotiators or litigators in town? Trust me, Lisa doesn't back down to anyone. You want somebody to entertain clients and hit the longest drive at a golf outing? That's Lisa. You need someone to come to a classroom full of first graders and talk about what it's like to be an attorney? Kids love her. You need someone to donate her time to a dozen causes and professional groups? Lisa. In addition to all those things, somehow Lisa is always there for her 3 young kids and her husband, Jeff. One of the best aspects about all these things is Lisa makes it look easy. She isn't one to run back and forth in a panic, wondering how it's all going to come together at the last second. She does it with a relaxed and professional attitude. She's got that unique ability to get it all done and leave you wondering how she did it. I'm proud to call Lisa my partner and a great friend, and we're very proud of her at Plunkett Cooney. Thank you.
Michelle Harrell is the managing shareholder of Madden, Hauser, Roth & Heller, where she concentrates her practice on complex commercial litigation, real estate, shareholder disputes, franchise and distribution, trust disputes, class action defense, and alternate dispute resolution. A Master Emeritus in the American Inns of Court, Oakland County chapter, she's a mentor for the Oakland County Bar Association. Her advice for young lawyers? Stay curious and engaged. By giving back to your community and people in need, you will be rewarded by multiple. Congratulations to Michelle Harrell. Stacey Heinonen of the Mike Morse Law Firm has practiced extensively in the areas of automobile no-fault and property insurance law, with an extensive appellate practice that ensures she regularly appears before state and federal appellate courts. The first lawyer in her family, she considers her biggest professional accomplishments to be the opportunity to represent the plaintiff before the Michigan Supreme Court in Bozzi versus Sentinel Insurance Company. The 2018 ruling, she says, defined insurance coverage and those entitled to benefits in a no-fault action. Congratulations to Stacey Heinonen. After working as a partner at a large law firm and in-house counsel at a Fortune 500 company, Linda Kennedy co-founded the IP business and technology boutique law firm, Penagos Kennedy. Aside of work, she serves as the chair of the Academic Affairs Committee for Michigan Technological University's Board of Trustees. What advice would she give to new lawyers? Don't be like everyone else. It's easy and safe to be conventional. Be brave and find the innovative solutions that suit you and advance your clients. Congratulations to Linda Kennedy. Sarah Kirkwood is Senior Vice President of Legal for North America at CF Group. Sarah joined the group in 2011 to handle litigation and has since risen to take on responsibility for corporate legal functions throughout North America. She acts as a mentor for fellow lawyers at the company and is active in its Women's Resources Group. What influenced her decision to become a lawyer? Even as a child, I recognized that many people didn't speak up for themselves. I wanted them to have a voice. Congratulations to Sarah Kirkwood.
Thank you, Marla. Please welcome back digital editor Kelly Kaplan and our next special guest.
Thanks, Shar. Joining me now is litigator Jennifer GRIECO. Jennifer was the 84th president of the State Bar of Michigan. She has more than 22 years of trial experience and is the 7th woman elected to the State Bar presidency. Thanks for joining us, Jennifer.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. You've been in this career for quite a while, successfully, I might add. So throughout your career, even with that great effective leadership, there are still challenges for women in the legal profession. So what do you see are the top challenges facing women in the law today?
Women face many challenges today. I don't know if this is a top challenge, but it's certainly one as a litigator that I know that I've experienced in my career. And that's that as for women, our tone and our approach remains a challenge to practicing law because we're competing for clients that want an aggressive lawyer. So we need to present ourselves as aggressive advocates, but by being aggressive as a woman lawyer is not always seen as positive. In fact, it can backfire as women who get angry are viewed as shrill or hysterical. And while the impression of a man as an aggressive bulldog is really revered, when a woman is aggressive, she's known as, that B word that we all know and we've all heard. And we're just seen less than competent and considered not ladylike. So women have to walk this really fine line, this really fine tightrope to be aggressive enough so that we don't seem weak or soft to our clients and to our opposing counsel, but not too aggressive that our message is really lost in the criticism of our demeanor, which is completely unfair. Men don't have to walk this fine line because clients expect their male lawyers to be tough. So this double standard continues today to make success in the law more challenging as we try to be tough but appropriately feminine to be effective.
Okay. Thank you for your time tonight, Jennifer. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Bye now.
Bye.
Please welcome our next presenter, Tanya Lundberg of the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law.
Stephanie LaBelle is the lead attorney of Project Clean Slate. Over the course of her 2 years guiding the program, which assists Detroit residents in setting aside convictions, she has helped obtain more than 367 expungements. A member of the board of directors of Operation Give, she previously sat on the board of advisors for Bull Family YMCA. She says her greatest professional achievement is her current work. Expungement has literally changed my clients' lives. It removes the stigma that in some instances has followed them for 30 years. Congratulations to Stephanie LaBelle. The Honorable Mona Mazub was the first female shareholder in an all-male Detroit firm for 27 years. She then spent 16 years on the bench as a magistrate judge for the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan before founding Mona K. Mazub Dispute Resolutions. She's a founding board member of the Michigan chapter of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, served as president of the Arab American Bar Association, and is a fellow of the Michigan State Bar Foundation. Congratulations to Judge Mazub. Teresa Marie Mantis of Mantis Honigman focuses her practice on business litigation and healthcare law. Her clients are healthcare professionals, physicians, and healthcare and business entities. Her pro bono efforts include working with the Michigan Protection Agency on litigation advocating for adequate mental health care for thousands of adolescents, and a public policy case on behalf of homeowners in Detroit offered the promise of ownership, but then treated as tenants subject to eviction in the event of default. How would she describe herself in one word? Compassionate. Congratulations to Teresa Marie Mantis. Kiara Madison is the founder of Madison Law, where she centers her practice on probate litigation, estate and trust administration, estate planning, and civil and business litigation. Kiara is active in the Oakland County Bar Association and the OCBA Inns of Court, serves as secretary of the board of Horses Haven, and launched Project Imogene, which is named after her deceased thoroughbred mare to help unwanted and abused horses. What's one thing most people don't know about her? I am a horsewoman and competitive dressage rider. Congratulations to Kiara Madison. Dykema Gossett's Bonnie Mayfield is a seasoned trial and appellate lawyer who has successfully litigated employment discrimination, labor, retaliation, wage and hour, whistleblower, tort, product liability, and commercial matters. She has promoted diversity and inclusion within her firm and through her leadership with the International Association of Defense Counsel, where she was the first African American woman to become a board member. What advice does she have for new lawyers? As Dolly Parton said, "Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." Congratulations to Bonnie Mayfield. Linda McGee is the executive director of Michigan Children's Law Center. Dedicated to helping children in the courts, schools, and community, Linda earned her Child Welfare Law Specialist certification this year. She's the founder and executive director of the nonprofit ARC Nonviolence Program, which assists children in the Detroit Public Schools. What made her decide to become a lawyer? In 4th grade, I intervened to help my best friend who was being bullied by an older boy. I realized that I loved fighting for others. Congratulations to Linda McGee.
Thank you, Tanya. I am now going to turn the virtual podium over to Kristen Persley of the DeBrusson Law Firm.
O'Reilly Rancilio's Linda McGrail focuses her practice on municipal, probate, and domestic litigation, as well as business law and property tax appeals. A former president and treasurer of the Women Lawyers Association of Michigan, Macomb Region, yay, and director of the Macomb County Bar Association, she currently serves as an officer and on the board of directors for Leadership Macomb. What influenced her decision to pursue a legal career? My father, Bill McGrail, who was also a lawyer, taught me to analyze problems using a legal mindset from a very young age. Congratulations to Linda McGrail. Kelly Newman of the Newman Law Group launched her firm to represent injured individuals 4 years ago and already has 3 offices in Michigan and 3 more nationwide. A law advisory board member at Adrian College, Kelly recently dedicated a mock trial room for law students there. Outside of work, she's an advocate for animal rights, human rights, and the LGBTQ community. Why did she choose to become a lawyer? I wanted a career that actually makes a difference in people's lives. Congratulations to Kelly Newman. Michelle Carter Pierce is general counsel at Centria, a former member of the Michigan Supreme Court's Solutions on Self-Help Task Force. She is a past president of the Wolverine Bar Association and sat on the board for the Detroit Metropolitan Bar Association. An active volunteer, she works at autism activity events, participates in pro bono legal clinics, and works with the Volunteers of America. Her advice for young lawyers: be true to yourself. Find your passion, both professionally and personally. Congratulations to Michelle Pierce. Deborah Rubin of Jaffe, Raitt, Hauer, and Weiss represents creditors' committees and corporate debtors in bankruptcy proceedings and commercial litigation. She works on avoidance litigation, fraud, dischargeability proceedings, collection actions, and other insolvency matters. Recently appointed as the chair of the Commercial Law League of America's bankruptcy section, she was part of the effort to introduce a bankruptcy venue reform measure in the United States House of Representatives. What technological development does she see having the biggest impact on the practice of law? Artificial intelligence. Congratulations to Deborah Rubin. Lee Schultz, a management-side labor and employment attorney at Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone, represents clients across a diverse lineup of industries, from hospitality to healthcare to manufacturing. She also sits on the firm's mentoring committee. She is active in the American Bar Association, the state bars of both Michigan and Illinois, and the Kalamazoo County Bar Association. She also serves on the board for the Kalamazoo Valley Community College Foundation. What is something not everyone knows about her? I love jigsaw puzzles. Congratulations to Lee Schultz. Litigation attorney Angela Emmerling Shapiro of Butzel Long was one of the first in the state to develop a significant electronic discovery practice. She is an advocate of using technology, including predictive analytics and other artificial intelligence. She also holds both Certified Information Privacy Professional and Certified Electronic Discovery Specialist credentials. She is a board member of the Detroit chapter of the Academy of Certified E-Discovery Specialists and the Historical Society of the Eastern District of Michigan Federal Bar Association. What's something not everyone knows about her? I love performing in musicals. Congratulations to Angela Shapiro.
Thank you, Kirsten. Welcome back, digital editor Kelly Kaplan and our final special guest.
Thank you, Charlene. Joining me is Judge Victoria Roberts of the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan. Judge Roberts was the 62nd president of the State Bar of Michigan and was the first and only Black woman to hold the position. Thanks for joining me, Judge.
Thanks, Kelly, for the invitation.
All right. So you've been in the career for quite a while. So compared with when you started, knowing what you know now, what would you tell younger you?
I would tell a younger me to be very mindful of imposter syndrome. And when I was in law school, it didn't have a name, but I know how I felt. I know that I didn't feel adequate. I know that I didn't feel as smart and as on the ball as my white male counterparts around me. I was hesitant to be assertive because I didn't think that I was good enough or that I measured up. And so when I finally heard the name for that, I thought, aha, I'm not the only one in town who feels like she's a fraud. So I think even the best of us have had that feeling over careers, and it's sometimes difficult to separate out what is that imposter syndrome seeping in from real discrimination that does occur and that we have been subject to. So I would tell the me entering the profession now to be aware that those feelings are going to creep in and to make certain that you align yourself with affinity groups, with women and minorities who feel the same way that you do, to share these feelings and to know that it's a syndrome that has just struck us and that it has no merit whatsoever. I think that syndrome had prevented me from being assertive in many situations when I should have been, could have been. And I can even say now that it creeps in sometimes, but it's important for me to review my resume and to see what I have accomplished and to listen to introductions that I get. And I say, aha, that's me. And I did all of those things. And it's important, I think, to have that association with affinity groups, with a mentor, and to make certain that you really review your resume and know that this was not a fluke. You were entitled to it, you did it, it was hard work, and you were not a fraud.
Thank you for your time, Judge. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelly.
Please welcome our final presenter, Martha Denning Moore of Western Michigan University, Cooley Law School.
Mary Kay Shaver is a partner at Varnum, where her practice focuses on public and corporate finance. She is a past president of Michigan Women in Finance and is active in the National Association of Bond Lawyers, the Michigan Association of Public School Academies, as well as the Michigan Council of School Attorneys. She says her greatest professional accomplishment was successfully restructuring a distressed bond transaction for a school district. She says it was gratifying work because failure to restructure the transaction would have meant that the school would close mid-year. Congratulations to Mary Kay Shaver. In 2007, Chandrika Simmons opened her firm, Simmons Legal, doing business as Law Chic. Her firm focuses on labor, real estate, family law, and contracts. A former president of the Black Women Lawyers Association of Michigan, she founded What About the Children, a nonprofit that benefits abused and neglected children in underprivileged communities. What advice would she give to new lawyers? She says, focus on what you're good at and what you like to do. She says, do not sacrifice your happiness or mental health doing something you hate. Congratulations, Chandrika Simmons. Joanne GRIECO Swanson is a member and the first female partner at Kerr, Russell, and Weber. She focuses her practice on antitrust, business litigation, and appellate work that cuts across practice areas. She also serves on the firm's Recruitment and Continuing Education Committee. She's a council member of the Appellate Practice section of the State Bar of Michigan, and she recently completed her term as president of the Detroit Bar Association. The advice she would give to young lawyers? You are uniquely situated to make a difference in our community. Congratulations to Joanne GRIECO Swanson. Stacey Van Dyken of Van Dyken Law focuses her practice on family and divorce law, and she also handles delinquency and neglect cases. A member of the family law section of both the Grand Rapids Bar Association and the State Bar of Michigan, she is a member of the Women Lawyers Association of Michigan and a bankruptcy section member of the Federal Bar Association. What advice does she have for new lawyers? She says, always remember that your client could have chosen any attorney to represent them, and they chose you. Congratulations to Stacey Van Dyken. Collins Einhorn Farrell's Nicole Walensky is a leader in the firm's insurance coverage practice group with experience representing insurance carriers in complex coverage litigation throughout the Midwest. She's also president-elect of the State Bar of Michigan Insurance and Indemnity Law Group. She's the former president of the Oakland Women's Bar Association and serves as secretary on the Women Lawyers Association of Michigan Foundation's Board of Trustees. What does she see as her biggest professional challenge? She says, women lawyers, including myself, still struggle to earn the same respect that a male attorney automatically receives. Congratulations to Nicole Walensky. Insurance defense attorney Catherine Witherspoon has been a shareholder at Guerin Lukow Miller since 2006, where she is a member of the Personnel Committee and frequently mentors younger lawyers. What drew her to a legal career? My first career was advocating for the rights and privileges for persons with developmental disabilities. Through that work, I became involved in legal challenges to the prevailing societal norms as related to transitioning these people into ordinary residential communities, public school systems, and society itself. Those legal challenges sparked my love for the law. Congratulations to Catherine Witherspoon.
Congratulations, Catherine, from your partners at Garen Luco Miller. Well-deserved award.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Catherine.
We have one last special guest star. Please welcome Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
I want to congratulate the 2020 Women in the Law class. This is such a prestigious honor, and as a past recipient myself, it's my honor to join you in your celebration virtually. Aristotle once said, "Law is order, and good law is good order." In today's ever-changing society, we need lawyers like yourselves, people who are willing to go above and beyond for justice and represent the good order in Michigan and beyond. Your talents and unique skill set is what makes the Michigan Bar so special. This is just the first step of many in your future careers. Continue to make your path in the world, make your mark, and stand up for what you believe is right. In closing, I want to leave you with one other accomplished legal scholar, the great L. Woods. Congratulations, you did it.
It is now time to end the suspense and announce the 2020 Woman of the Year. This year's honoree is Judge Mona Mazoub. Congratulations, Judge Mona Mazoub. I'm now going to turn the program over to you.
First of all, I would like to thank the Lawyers Weekly staff, and especially Charlene Boccaccio, for organizing this amazing Women in the Law effort and hosting tonight's event. As we know all too well, this pandemic has made most of us more invisible to each other than we would like, and has isolated us more than we expected. So it's nice to be able to get together, even on a virtual platform, and have a sense of community among us. I am honored to be counted among this group of 30 dedicated, hardworking, and accomplished lawyers. When I studied the resumes and credentials of my 2020 class members, I was overwhelmed at the caliber of women lawyers nominated. I felt as if I were among the elite of our profession. I am stunned beyond words that you would have voted me Woman of the Year, and I thank you for this incredible honor. There is really nothing that separates me from any of you. We are strong distance runners by nature. We have all stayed in the game, taken our knocks, and we have all survived and thrived in a profession that was not always very kind to our gender. I believe I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and credit the woman of the century, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, for her role in tonight's events. Without her tireless efforts as a champion of gender equality and women's rights, we would not be here tonight celebrating the achievements of 30 accomplished women in the law. It gives me pause as I reflect on the fact that Lawyers Weekly has sponsored this event for 11 consecutive years, recognizing and celebrating the careers of 30 women each year. By my math, that's about 330 women lawyers, and this deserving group represents just the tip of that legal iceberg. Consider that this diminutive giant, RBG, devoted her life's work to galvanizing a legal strategy and process to assure that the language of the 14th Amendment, nor shall any state deny any person the equal protection of the laws, particularly that the words any person be understood to include women. In 1959, having graduated first in her class from Columbia Law School, RBG couldn't get a job. No law firm would hire her, and judges refused to interview her for judicial clerkships. In 1959, having graduated first in her class from Columbia Law School, RBG couldn't get a job. No law firm would hire her, and judges refused to interview her for judicial clerkships. It is largely because of her vision, her intelligence, and her dogged determination that doors opened for us that were not open for her. And for that, we owe her our deepest gratitude and admiration for her incomparable courage. Thank you for this honor, and thank you and RBG and Lawyers Weekly for making this day possible.
I'd like to once again congratulate all our honorees and thank our sponsors for their generous support. They are our social media sponsor, University of Detroit Mercy School of Law, celebration sponsors, Garen Luco Miller, Warner Norcross and Judd, LLP, Varnum, LLP, Jaffe Riot Hewer and Weiss, PC, Plunkett Cooney, Riley and Hurley, PC, our table sponsors, Miller Campfield and Mantis Honigman. Thank you to all of tonight's guests who interacted with us through social media. It was wonderful to see your comments and congratulations. And thank you to the entire Michigan legal community for your support. Stay well and good night.